Missions of Hope is a Christian organization that works with orphaned and vulnerable children and their families among the disadvantaged communities. Some of them are in the slums of Nairobi, within the Nairobi County, as well as Machakos County. And for the last about 3 years, we started working among the Turkana people, that is in Turkana County, and this is in the northwestern Kenya. And this is an area that is actually like a desert. These people hardly have anything except for their animals, goats and camels. There are hardly any roads in this area. There are hardly any industries going on. And so this Turkana community is actually a community that I can say is a marginalized community with over 700,000 people. They have less than 40% enrollment to schools, and that means that over 60% of school-age children do not attend any kind of school.
This is a community which has not known the importance of education. This is a community which is dealing with pastoralism.
They only depend on their animals, no any business being done here, no any agriculture is being done here. It's only depending on animals.
They have never been able to get that much exposure to quality education, and therefore, as we have interacted with the Turkanas, as we tell them about the benefits of education and what it means for their children to be educated, they are coming to see that truly education can make a whole difference for their children.
Education in this area is very important because it's the only way of survival.
Here in Kenya, we don't have jobs. Jobs are only meant for those people who have gone to school. And therefore, any student who does not attend school is going to lead a very desperate life. In
the year 2013, we started a school in one of the villages close to the main town called Lodwar. And recently, we have started working with some public schools so that we can see how we can just have another model in working among the Turkana people, because the public schools are not well equipped, and we think that working with the public schools can be a good model for this community. Among the public schools that we have started working with as pilot programs, one of them is Kangagetei. This is a school that was started by missionaries that were working with CMF International some years back. These missionaries helped to build a few classrooms, and then after that the school was taken up by the government. Currently there are about 324 children that are attending this school. The highest class is 8th grade. So this year there are about 14 students that are going to be sitting for the national exam in this school. A few years ago, CMF started a child sponsorship program through another missionary who had come. This year, this September, Missions of Hope has taken up this child sponsorship program so that we can be able to expand, get more of the children sponsored, and therefore be able to get more resources so that the school can be better equipped and quality Christian education can be offered in this school. Because you can tell that the children are really hungry for good education. The community members themselves really want their children to get the best, and they are really trying and they are really working hard. But then more resources are needed, and that is why as Missions of Hope, we have found it good to come in so that we can be able to partner with this school and be able to equip the school better, equip the teachers better, train the teachers, and also provide a feeding program for the children. That way the children can consistently be able to attend school and therefore be able to get quality education. One of the things that we noted when we went to these public schools is that the schools had no desks. As a matter of fact, in Kangagetei school, they probably, like the 8th grade class, is the one that had 5 desks. But it is 5 desks against 14 students. Then we were able to visit the other classes, and we noted that the other classes did not have desks. And therefore, anytime they need to write, then they have to borrow desks from the 8th grade class. And therefore, we felt moved to make a provision for desks. We were able to buy 50 desks for the Kangagetei school so that the children can be able to have a better environment for studies. Child sponsorship is the key to transforming a child's life.
This is a community whereby most of the parents live in extreme poverty.
They can't afford for the education of their children.
When a child gets sponsored, this child is able to get good access to quality education. We are also able to provide basic health care. We are able to have a feeding program for the children, and that way they can stay healthy even when they are in school. And also, through child sponsorship, we are able to pool funds together that can help employ Christian teachers who can teach and care for these children and love on them. And if they are Christian teachers, then they are able to also teach these children the Word of God.
When I partner with the Mission of Hope, the spiritual emphasis among the kids will be uplifted because being taught spiritually, I think they will be changing the world for Christ.
Child sponsorship also means that once the child is in a school and is sponsored, we can be able to get a good access to the family of this child, and therefore be able to reach out to this family with the love of Jesus Christ. And as we reach to different families within a community, then that becomes the beginning of transformation in that community. We are able to do community health evangelism in such a community. We are able to disciple the people that come to know Jesus. And as that continues, then the church can be able to grow. If there is no church in a community, we can be able to plant a church. And therefore, I must say that child sponsorship is actually the beginning point for transformation of the child, the family, and the child's community.
I'm so much excited to be partnering with Mission of Hope because it's bringing hope to this community. Not to individual, but to entire community.
That is why we really want to encourage to anybody there who is willing to support this child so that one day this person or this child can have at least a good life in future.
For you who makes a decision to sponsor a child, I say a big thank you for accepting to take a part in making a difference in a child's life. And not only the child will be transformed, but also his or her family, all his and her community. And therefore, it is the beginning of transformation. Thank you in advance for sponsoring a child.